Hi folks, this is Justin with Dixon Hobbies. Today we're going to be doing a quick build video of this new E-flite F-15 Eagle from Horizon Hobby. We just started carrying this and we thought we'd like to share it with you. I do want to preface this with I apologize. There are a few mistakes. I called some things the wrong things in the video, like I called the elevators the ailerons. My bad on that. But take a look. It should help you get through the build. It's a really great looking airplane, really good flyer. You guys are going to really enjoy this. And at the end of the video, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, folks, today we have the new Horizon E-flite F-15 Eagle. This is their smaller 64 millimeter EDF. We're going to be unboxing this thing for you today. Looks like a real pretty model. It's got a really unusual paint scheme, kind of like a digital camo sort of thing going on. Unfortunately, our box did show up a little dinged, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. So let's get into her. Now, like a lot of the E-flite stuff that Horizon carries, it does have the AS3X gyro. It does have safe technology built in for you guys that want to limit the motion of the pitch and roll of the airplane. You've got different modes that you can select. It comes with the 4S compatible brushless motor. You've got an 11 blade fan. It's got removable landing gear, so it's not retractable, but you can hand launch this thing and belly land it, or you can fly it off of a static landing gear if you want to. It is Spectrum compatible bind and fly, this version that we got, and it does have a magnetic top hatch too. It makes it easy to get in there. You also have optional simulated wing tanks if you want to put those on too for more realism. Alright, so it is a pretty small box. Everything's packed in there really nice and tight. It is really well packed. Everything's held down well. It's not moving around at all. Looks like the foam did do its job right here. This was the impact. We didn't have anything broken on the inside, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to start cutting into it and getting everything out of the box. Alright, so one thing I noticed that in the packing, these blocks that hold the wings down that go across here, you need to be careful as you're pulling them out because the wing actually tucks into that slot right there. So yank those out too hard, you're going to tear a wing up. So be careful, guys, as you're pulling that stuff out. It shouldn't be an issue, but just be slow and you'll have to remove the wing as the piece comes out. Okay, so this is how everything will come out of the box. Fuselage is highly prefabricated. You've got your full manual here, decal set, hardware set, removable landing gear. You've got EPO foam. These are actually EPO foam imitation missiles. You also have EPO foam drop tanks. You have a magnet, actually a magnetized nose cone that just pops on. And the magnet holds it in place. Your horizontal fins, your wings already pre-assembled with your servos already installed. Vertical fin. Fuselage, like I said, it's already got servos installed. All your electronics. Now, I like this here. Your ESC is actually towards the outside of the aircraft. It's got vents where you can get direct airflow over it. It is really cool that they do not have any cheater slots for the ducted fan. They have two fairly scale duct inlets for the fan. Now, this is a single fan, but it funnels out through two small pipes that are fairly scale as well. So the airplane doesn't look, disproportionate like some do, where they have exaggerated intakes or nozzles on the end to where the airplane no longer looks scale. So next thing for us to do, we're going to put this together. You'll see a build video right behind this one. Okay, this is the F-15 64mm from E-flite. We're going to be putting this together today. Okay, so let's start into number one. We're going to go ahead and install the nose gear and main landing gear and the main wing section. Pretty straightforward. We're just going to grab the plates and the screws to do that. You'll have two screws right here. And two plates. So the main nose gear goes right into this aluminum bushing. On that, you're going to need two small Allen wrenches. Alright, so apologize folks, it's hard to do this one-handed and film at the same time, but we're going to do our best. You want to loosen these two Allen wrenches up just a tad. Okay. Then you're going to push this main landing gear in there. Okay, so when it's all done, this is the way it'll look. There is a flat spot on the landing gear. You want to make sure that's captured by this upper set screw right here. Make sure they're both good and tight, and then we'll move on to the rear. Now, according to the instructions, the wire on the landing gear needs to be facing the front, so that would be the proper direction like that. And you're going to snap this in here. And the other side right there. Okay, so I got him in there, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you will have to fight with these covers. The bent wire for the landing gear where it fits down in this well, they're really tight. It tends to want to try to spring back out of there. And you may notice right here, there's a tiny little notch cut in them to accommodate the landing gear wire coming out, but the landing gear is, bent back at about a 45-degree angle, and there's a tab on this side that you have to get underneath this plastic housing for the landing gear. So you kind of have to wrestle with getting that tab in there and getting it snapped down around this wire. But once it's down there, you can get the screws in pretty easily. Wasn't that big a deal, just kind of an annoyance. So the next thing they say to do is to install the wing joiner, which is a carbon fiber rod. I've already, you can look at the hole right here. I've already slid it in. This is what will hold your wings. Next thing you want to do is you want to grab the appropriate wings. There's also a hole there, and slide them up, and then you've got two locations right here and here that will accept a machine screw to tie them all together. Of course, you do also want to plug your servo wires up. Now, upside down, you'll notice that here you have a brass liner that's threaded, and the inside those two tabs is going to slide up in the wing. You want to make sure you fish the wire out of your way. There's a little channel here that those can recess down into, but once you've got them out of the way, you can go ahead and cinch the wing up. Now, once that wing's cinched up, go ahead and put your machine screws in there. Okay, the next step is going to be your horizontal stabilizer. Now, we're going to actually apply regular, not foam safe, medium CA to the base of the horizontal stabilizer where it meets the fuselage. So these actually glue on. They're going to glue on right here. I'll go get some CA glue and we'll do that. Alright, so you can see we've applied CA glue to the surface, the little indentation on the bottom side. And make sure that this is the, you can see that we've glued, there's a little place to put glue in the upper side on the inside. That's the bottom where the horn is. And this is what it should look like when you're done. Now, I use accelerator. We use a little bit of foam safe kicker. That way I can activate this one particular part here, and then I can move to the stabilizer, apply my glue, I'll get glue on all the surfaces that are going to touch. And this little part there touches. Alright, now once I've done that, then I can apply it. And as soon as it touches, within a few seconds. Alright, next thing we'll be doing is we'll be hooking up the two aileron servos. And then we're going to install the linkages to the rear servos that operate the ailerons. Now the two rear elevator push rods are these two short rods that come with it. The first part, the Z-bend, will go install into the outer horn, outer hole of the horn, just like that. And then you're going to clip it on to the elevator horn. Okay, specifically they tell you to put it these control horns in the center hole in the servo, on the outermost hole on the elevator, and then once you clamp the clevis on there, you've got a little piece of silicone tubing that you slide up as a retainer so that that can't ever spread and come out. So this is the way it will look on both sides. Okay, on either side, the aileron servos need to be hooked up, so hook them up, be sure that you match the colors. And then you want to push it down into this little recess there on either side. And then on the decal sheet, they give you a gray side and a white side, just like they did on the landing gear covers. This is a little decal, and you'll just put that over the area right here where the plug is to hold all that down. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. And this is what it'll look like after you're done installing that tape. It has everything nice and trimmed out. Good airflow over it, and will prevent that from coming unplugged. Now the next thing to do is the two vertical stabilizers. They're going to be installed just the same way as the horizontal stabilizer and elevator assemblies. We're going to activate this part on either side with the kicker, and then we're going to use the CA on the bottom part of each vertical stab and then apply directly. Be sure that you get your graphics on the outside. That'll tell you which way they're supposed to face. The graphics will be facing the outside of the wing, just like so. Now, if you did all that successfully, this is what your airplane should look like right now. Almost done. Now, you can fly it just like this. You can move on to the radio binding and setup, or you can choose to move on to your missiles and your drop tanks. Now, you could choose to put just the drop tanks on here, or you can do like they say in the instructions, and you can glue the missiles onto the side of the drop tanks. Either way you like to do it. I think I'm going to elect to put the missiles on it, and it just requires a little bit of CA glue there, just like you did the tail. This is what they'll look like when they're all glued on there. You got some side rail missiles mounted to your drop tanks. And next thing you'll do is you'll see it's got two little tabs here on the side, and that just locks into two slots. You just pop it in and slide them back on the bottom of the wing. Okay, so you'll see the two little spots we have here. They engage with those slots here, so you just push them in, and then all you have to do is push that back into place, and then they're both attached. Alright, so we have a fantastic looking plane here. Looks really killer with the drop tanks and the missiles bristling off of it. Looks like it's ready to go shoot down some MiGs. Now, next thing that we're going to get into is the power system. Okay, now we've got a magnetic hatch on the top. You just lift up the back. There is a little piece of clear tape here that can help you. There's a tab in the front that locks in. And your battery compartment is right here. You can pull the power plug out. You're dealing with a typical EC3 connector. Pretty common for the E-flite stuff, and then your battery tray is fairly tight, but we've selected one here. What I've selected for this one is, a Venom Fly 2200 milliamp. They say you can run these on either 3S or 4S, but in true Tim Taylor fashion, we want more power. So we went with the 4S. I believe this thing will be plenty small enough to fit down in there. And cool thing about a Venom is it may not have the EC3 connector on it, but they do come with the uni plug, which you have adapters for everything. So that's your EC3 adapter that comes with it. We'll put that on there. And then the kit also supplies you some Velcro to install on the battery pack so that you can put it in the airplane. Okay, so went ahead and installed the Velcro. The battery likes to fit in there vertically, edgewise, like so. The only real gripe is there is not a lot of room, so you do have to fish the wires out of the way to get it down in there. But once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. A little bit of it's tucked up under the rear turtle deck just behind the canopy. You'll probably want to put the wires first and then let them poke out. That way you can plug it up. Tuck all the wires down in there to get them out of the way of the canopy. Once it's plugged in, everything should snap right back together. So there we go. We're completely ready to fly. All I got to do is bind it, set up my radio. This thing's ready to hit the sky, start burning some holes. Guys, we're all done with this one. But if you want to see more like this, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'd like to hear from you. Leave comments. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.
Dixon Hobbies, only the best.